pull up a chair. I know why you're here, and I want you to know I've been exactly where you are. You're sending out 100 applications, you're tweaking every bullet point, you're doing everything the experts told you to do, the keyword optimization, the networking, the perfectly formatted cover letters, and all you're getting back is silence. It's frustrating, it's exhausting, and if you're starting to feel like you're shouting into a void, I want to tell you something that might be hard to hear, but it's the truth you need right now. It isn't because you aren't good enough. It isn't because your resume is missing some magic keyword. It's because the game you're playing just went obsolete. For nearly 100 years, we were taught to be cogs in a giant industrial machine. We were trained to be reliable, predictable laborers who show up and perform a specific set of tasks. But that machine is being replaced by a digital architect's dream. I've been looking at the latest labor market data, and the numbers are sobering. Entry-level technical job postings, they're down 67% in just the last 18 months. Think about that. 2/3 of the Start Here signs have been taken down. Why? Because the very definition of a job has shifted under our feet. Recruiters aren't looking for laborers anymore, people who can perform a task when given instructions. They're looking for architects. They're looking for the person who can design the system that does the work while they sleep. If you're still presenting yourself as someone who just does the work, you're speaking a language the market no longer values. You're pitching manual labor to a world that has discovered the power of the automated factory. So, let's talk about what's actually happening. Here's the hidden logic behind why your boss, and every recruiter out there, secretly stopped buying labor and started buying something entirely different. We used to live in a world of input hours. It was a simple, honest trade. You traded 40 hours of your life for a paycheck, and the company hoped those 40 hours produced something useful. But that model is dying in real time. Companies are pivoting fast from input to AI-orchestrated outcomes. They don't care about the how anymore. They only care about the result. Take a look at what's happening at places like Klarna or PwC. They aren't just using AI to write boring emails or summarize meetings. They're radicalizing efficiency at a structural level. Klarna recently saw a staggering 152% increase in revenue per employee. Let that sink in for a second. They didn't just ask their employees to work harder or skip lunch. They converted repetitive tasks into autonomous agents. They moved from buying human labor to buying verified results. I saw a specific study from Klarna showing they reduced their external agency spending by 25%. Think about the agencies they fired. Those agencies weren't let go because the work wasn't needed. They were replaced because the company could get the outcome cheaper and faster by using an internal AI system managed by a single person instead of a team of 20. This is the part that most people miss. Companies aren't looking for someone to do the work anymore. They're looking for someone to ensure the work gets done by a system. When I first looked at this data, it changed how I think about everything. Your value isn't your doing anymore, it's your oversight. It's about being the person who can walk into a room and say, I will deliver this outcome. And here's the automated, self-correcting workflow I've built to make it happen. In the old world, the hero was the person who worked the most hours. In the new world, the hero is the person who builds the system that makes those hours unnecessary. Now that you see the machine, let's talk about how you position yourself to own it. So, how do you make that shift? You become what I call the AI workflow architect. It sounds like a big, intimidating title, but it's actually a very simple mindset shift. The winners in this new economy aren't working harder. They're commanding a 28% premium simply by changing their stance. According to Lightcast, that 28% isn't just a theoretical number, it's the average salary bonus for roles that require AI skills right now. But don't misunderstand me. This isn't about knowing how to prompt a chatbot, it's about systemic integration. Let's look at a non-tech example. Consider litigation lawyers. In the old world, a junior lawyer would spend weeks in document discovery. That's pure, grueling labor today. The ones commanding $340,000 salaries are the ones who integrate AI for discovery and strategy orchestration. They aren't doing the digging themselves. They're architecting the search parameters. They are the conductors of an AI orchestra. PwC notes that this premium isn't for knowing the tool, it's for redefining how the work itself gets done. You aren't a line cook anymore. You're the person designing the automated kitchen. When you stop pitching your skills and start pitching your systems, the conversation with a recruiter changes instantly. They stop seeing you as a cost that needs to be minimized and start seeing you as a multiplier that generates profit. AI isn't just a tool you use, it's a multiplier for everything you do next. If you can show a company that you are the bridge between their business problem and an AI-driven solution, you aren't just an applicant anymore. You're a consultant they can't afford to ignore. Here's the part that should give you immense hope, even if the transition feels daunting. In the old world, your career growth was painfully linear. You put in a year, you got a 3% raise. You put in 10 years, maybe you got a promotion to middle management, but in the AI world, growth is exponential. It's based on the scale of the systems you control, not the hours you work. We're seeing a 109% year-over-year increase in demand for generative AI modeling and orchestration. And while the headlines love to scream about 85 million roles being displaced, they almost always bury the lead. 133 million new roles are expected to be created. Those new roles aren't just junior laborer 202. They are high-leverage roles focused on outcome orchestration. The wage premium for AI-enabled roles globally has doubled in just 1 year, jumping from 25% to 56%. Why? Because the market is desperate, truly desperate, for people who can bridge the gap between the shiny new tool and the actual business result. This is the wide call that either breaks your career or makes it. If you stay as a doer, you're competing with a script that costs $20 a month. You will never win that price war. But if you become the architect, you're the one who owns the script. You're the one who decides which tools to use, how they connect, and how to verify their output. This is about shifting from being a human resource to being a system operator. The traditional career ladder is being replaced by a control panel, and I want to make sure you're the one sitting at the desk. Let's build your specific blueprint to make sure you're on the right side of that equation. Now, I want you to walk away from this chat with more than just an idea. I want you to have a concrete plan for tomorrow morning. I want you to look at your professional presence, your LinkedIn, your resume, your elevator pitch, and I want you to change 3 specific things. First, stop listing tools you know. Everyone knows ChatGPT now. It's no longer a differentiator. Instead, list the autonomous workflows you've designed. Don't say I use AI for writing. Say I've built a 3-stage automated content system that reduced production turnaround by 40% while maintaining quality. That is a business result, not a skill. Second, focus on systems thinking. Show them you understand how a task moves from a business need to a finished result without you having to manually touch every single step. There is an $18,000 to $25,000 annual AI skill gap bonus waiting for non-technical people who can simply demonstrate this one mindset. And third, acknowledge the reality. 39% of core professional skills are going to change by 2030. You need to show you are the person who can manage that change, not the person who is afraid of it. I want you to stop being a line item on a budget spreadsheet and start being the person who manages the spreadsheet's output. Change those things tonight. The market is ready to pay the premium. You just have to show them you're the architect they've been looking for. You've got the talent, you've got the experience, and now you have the strategy. Go out there and show them what an architect looks like. You've got this. I'll talk to you soon.